Hey guys, welcome to Raw versus SmackDown, where we're going to look at see which show wins for this week, and it's the final ever Raw versus SmackDown. We'll be doing a special draft on the channel to see who becomes the new. No, I'm joking. It's still going to be me, but we're going to change the format yet again on the channel because Raw and SmackDown are going to be what start of the week, end of the week. We're pretty much going to do separate reviews from now on. We'll be trying to get back into NXT reviews as well. We will possibly try and we have got an idea for AEW versus NXT shows. So we might do the battle of Wednesday nights. We'll have to wait and see, but it's exciting times. We're really exciting times for us wrestling fans. But for one last time, it's Raw versus SmackDown. Let's see which show wins the war. So let's start it. Let's hit the music. Let's start the show. So let's get on with Raw. With Raw, we started off with Seth Rollins doing a cold promo. Pretty much, he was there talking about how he's gone through all beast monsters, but the Fiend is something completely different, and it's terrified him to the core. This was a very, very lazy segment in my opinion, because Braun Strowman came out. He talked about how Seth talked about him. If you have anything to say it to my face. And Seth was like, I've got a lot on. I've got to worry about the number one contendership. I've got to worry about the Fiend. And, if you want to fight Braun, let's have a fight. And, yeah, it led to the main event of Raw. That Braun versus Seth Rollins. I don't think we needed Seth on the main event tonight. I think the Fatal 5-Way elimination match for number one contender in my opinion, should have been the main event of the show. But we'll have to wait and see, on how WWE go with this one. I think Seth does need to kind of calm down from being always on the last match of the night. I get it, he is the main guy on Raw, but again, it was just like a little nitpicky kind of thing. It felt like a very dry promo, very lazy, and then we got this kind of like, and we're now the main event kind of thing. I was like, right, okay. After a feud which had just been finished at Clash of Champions, for me, it was just one of those ones. Then we had the Viking Raiders versus the OC. This was a great match. I really enjoyed this, and it had plenty of time, and that's something I was kind of worried about. Since Gallows and Anderson have teamed back up with AJ Styles, they have gotten so much. It's good to see them getting back to that pinnacle of brilliance. They don't need to hold titles. They just need to be one of the most aggressive tag teams on Raw, and that's what they come out as. They feel like a threat to everyone, not just the tag team division, but to everyone around them. The OC is a great staple to have on Raw, and I really am enjoying what they are doing on there. So for me, that was great. And again, it was a good test for the Viking Raiders. For me, Viking Raiders haven't really been pushed by any mainstay tag teams. They've had a few matches with like the B Team and stuff like that, Zack Ryder and Hawkins, but they've really not really kind of done anything else. So they've not really taken on one of the big teams. They've taken on the OC a few times now, and I really like the feud. Viking Raiders did win. It was a hard-fought match. I honestly thought Gallows and Anderson was going to win, but it was, in my opinion, right decision to get the Viking Raiders this victory. Really kind of gives them more momentum in the tag team division. Vince Cedric Alexander comes out and beats up AJ Styles. I like that they're interlinking these feuds with each other. I think that is fantastic. Next up, we had Rusev versus EC3. EC3 still works for WWE. That was the biggest thing I got out of this match. The commentating team completely squashed the Rusev being Maria Kanellis' baby daddy. So I'm kind of glad they did that. That's kind of good. They were questioning, where is Lana? Where is Lana? Probably at home sunbathing? Who knows? We don't know. Well, you do if you're on Instagram. You see her, but she's posting up loads of photos of her on the beach and stuff like that. So she's pretty much happy right now, it seems. Rusev looks impressive. He looks like, I didn't do a Raw vs SmackDown last week, but damn, Rusev looks absolutely hench right now. That's awesome. And the mustache, oof. You can join Mustache Mountain with that one, lad. But yeah, Rusev destroys EC3. They're trying to build some momentum. The only worrying thing is they do this quite often with Rusev. They try and make him, they try and build him up, and then they kind of forget about it. Like, he gets to that stage where the fans are starting to finally get invested, and then they just go, yeah, we've had enough. And that's the Rusev curse right now. Then we had Sasha Banks versus Nikki Cross. This was a good match. Again, a good match. There was only one little thing for me, and I think people did kind of notice onto it. It was Sasha Banks working Nikki's leg throughout the match. I mean, Nikki was playing the babyface in this one. Nikki kind of no-sold it near the end when she was starting to get more momentum for herself. But then, obviously, I thought Nikki was going to get the victory off of Sasha Banks. Bayley tried to distract. She's getting more and more heelish, kind of trying to help Sasha Banks in this one. Alexa Bliss prevented her from doing any more. She punched her, knocked her out clean. Nikki kind of got distracted. Sasha Banks puts her into obviously the bank statement, and Nikki taps out. A bit of a shame. I really was hoping Nikki Cross would win this one, but again, kind of little nitpicky little things in the match. But again, a good match, entertaining match for me. Next up, then we had Lacey Evans versus Ember Moon. Now, this one was an interesting one. Ember's obvious SmackDown wildcard. I really hate the wildcard rule. I know they've announced that that's getting demolished once the drafts come back. That's good news. But yeah, this match, they kind of sold it as Ember Moon wants to get momentum. She hadn't had a match on TV for like a month. So this was like, Ember Moon's here. And the thing I said was, she's going to lose this match. And she did. And it's a shame because the commentating team were like, Moon's here to really bounce back from not being on TV a lot and not being able to win recently. And she loses to Lacey Evans in the worst sharpshooter on planet Earth. I mean, they interview Natalya to go, what did you think of that? I would have gone, that is worse than the Rock sharpshooter. What is she doing? Yeah, that was awful. I felt so bad for Ember Moon, but she had to tap out to that sharpshooter. Oof. Then we had a title change. We had a title change on Raw. It was awesome. We had R-Truth being chased around throughout the show. You got crowded. Maverick was there, bloody brilliant. Carmella gets the mic. She says, "Truth, I can't do this anymore. I can't run around. I can't be constantly haunted by everyone." R-Truth looks like he's about to give up. She pins him. Carmella pins him. Takes the she's the new 24/7 champion. And all the guys can we pin a woman? Are we allowed to? All the women who haven't been seen for ages, Sarah Logan and a few others, Asuka chased Carmella, and they all you think, R-Truth's gonna be upset. No, he's I'm kind of proud of her. Yeah, piggyback and ran. I thought that was, that was nice. Then we had a rematch from the King of the Ring final, Chad Gable versus King Corbin. Brilliant, again, a good match. Corbin versus Chad Gable is becoming a really good feud and an entertaining segment on Raw, on just WWE TV. They've just discovered a good little feud here, and I think fans are enjoying. Chad Gable he's that guy you can just beat on, and then he gets the momentum, he gets the fans behind him, and people want to see him win. He is very much the modern day Kurt Angle. He is. You can see it in everything he does. Yes, Kurt had the heel run, which made everyone just hate him, and when he was a babyface and did the goofy stuff, we all kind of really enjoyed him. But Kurt, his in-ring ability is definitely at that level of Kurt Angle, in my opinion. I think he is No, he should at some point hold a title. And he's so good. He won to Corbin. He beat Corbin by disqualification because Corbin was going to lose. He used his septum to knock out Chad Gable. And, this is a good way to continue the feud. I hope that we get a Hell in a Cell match between, not a Hell in a Cell match, but a match at Hell in a Cell where these two can compete, because that is a damn good match. Again, I'm going to give props to Corbin, and I know people do not like me doing this, but Corbin's getting good. He's getting really good, and this King of the Ring stuff is getting better. Has actually added a little bit more to him. So I'm not too upset about this. I'm really excited. Then we had the Fatal 5-Way Elimination match. Oh, this was a good match. This was a good match. We had Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, we had Bobby Roode, we had, I'm trying to remember the last one. I'm going to have to look it up. Yeah. Rey Mysterio, Bobby Roode, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet. That was your 5 guys. I mean, you also had Sami Zayn there, obviously. This was a decent match. How could it? There was so many, bits and bats where you're like, oh, what's going on here? What's going on? Ricochet getting eliminated first by Shinsuke Nakamura. I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh, is this the end of Ricochet's, high end in the? We don't know. We just don't know. AJ getting eliminated by Bobby Roode, which was like a shock, obviously, because Roode and Dolph have kind of had like a little bit of an alliance with the OC. Rey Mysterio, pretty much knocking out Shinsuke and Robert Roode. That was great. Oh no, sorry, Shinsuke got eliminated by AJ Styles with a phenomenal elbow. Then Rey Mysterio defeats Robert Roode. This is great. And afterwards, when Rey Mysterio won, he showed his tattoo with his son's name, Dominic, and he was like, "This is for you." And I thought, that is so cool. I think this is the biggest match he's going to have. He's had since he's returned in WWE, and I'm really excited. I think this is great, especially for the premiere episode of Raw next week. That's going to be great. Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins for the Universal title. Very much an invitation for the Fiend to attack Rey, but I'm just worried because they kind of built Rey as, oh, he's building up from his, defeat, and now he's trying to prove he's still got it. And would this hinder his story? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait. But I'm excited. I am excited. I mean, last but not least for Raw, it was Braun Strowman versus Seth Rollins. This was okay. For a main event, these are two big guys, two big names on Raw, and I just felt like, yeah, we've seen it before on Clash of Champions, but the best thing about it was the Fiend. The Fiend attacked, he took out Braun, he absolutely terrified Seth Rollins, and it just, the way it closed off, Braun controlled that whole match. Seth kind of started to get more momentum, and by the end, the Fiend turning up absolutely saved that segment. So for me, it was a good Raw for this week. Next up, we have SmackDown Live for this week, and we started off with Erick Rowan coming out to start the show. They kind of have like a montage of everything that's been happening with Erick Rowan, Luke Harper, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns. Erick Rowan cuts a damn good promo. Again, Erick Rowan's promos are getting really, really good. He just pretty much states that he's superior to Daniel Bryan. He was never a lackey. He was a leader. He is a leader. And pretty much Daniel Bryan comes out. He's angry. He's angry with the guy who he thought was a friend. That's the thing with Daniel Bryan. It's definitely turning him babyface, and that is interesting. Daniel Bryan slaps, just goes, challenges him to a fight pretty much straight away. A referee turns up. The match starts soon. This was, to be honest, opening ways. If you look at it from Raw, where Seth cut a promo and then we had the main event, this was actually nicer. This was better. But guy starts off promo, has his challenger come out straight away, and they start off with a match, and I actually thought, yeah, this actually works better than going, oh yeah, we're gonna have a match later on. No, we're having the match right now, and it felt spontaneous because we didn't have a commercial break straight away. We actually started the match off soon after they said it, and that was good. The match itself was a good, hard-fought match. Erick Rowan ragdolled Daniel Bryan. The crowd started chanting yes, and that really started to get Daniel Bryan back up. Obviously, he said the yes movement is dead, but it was live and kicking that night on SmackDown Live. He starts getting more and more momentum. Luke Harper turns up out of nowhere. He starts trying to get involved in the match. Daniel Bryan gets distracted. He starts he does a suicide dive onto Luke Harper. He gets up straight away, but then Erick gets the Iron Claw on Daniel Bryan. He gets stuck though in the ring. The referee gets him out, and then he does the Iron Claw yet again on Daniel Bryan. Luke Harper and then Erick Rowan start beating the crap out of Daniel Bryan. Roman Reigns comes out. He saves them. Spear onto Luke Harper. And yes, Daniel Bryan gets the mic. Roman's there to give him a hand up. He knocks it away. So there's still that heel, like that reluctant turn. He's still heel, but he doesn't want to turn babyface just yet. He takes the mic and he just asks the crowd, "Do you want one word? Do you want me and Roman Reigns to take on these two and beat the crap out of them?" And the crowd just went, yes, yes, yes. And it got announced that at Hell in the Cell, we will have Roman Reigns teaming up with Daniel Bryan to take on Luke Harper and Erick Rowan. That's really exciting. I'm looking forward to it. If we get Daniel Bryan back as a babyface, I think that's a good move, especially if Daniel stays on SmackDown on the draft for Fox. I think he is that type of guy Fox do want to keep, but they probably want him as a babyface, as one of the big names on the show as a face. Good opening segment, really strong. It made sense that Erick Rowan won this match, especially with Luke Harper getting involved and Roman coming out to the big save. That was good. Thumbs up from me. Then we had Kofi Kingston have an interview with Michael Cole. Michael Cole did 2 interviews this week. He did an interview with Becky Lynch, which I didn't mention on the Raw one, which was a really good interview, and this one again with Kofi Kingston, which was a very good interview. Kofi talking about his match against Brock Lesnar next week on the premiere episode of SmackDown on Fox, and he pretty much states he knows this is going to be the fight of his career. But, you know, the power of positivity, he knows he can overcome it. He's overcome challenges before. This is another challenge. I'm one of the rare people, like, I want Kofi to retain. I know a lot of people are stating, oh, Kofi, he's going to lose, Brock's going to take the title. But I'm one of those ones who are kind of like, I really want Kofi to retain that title. Next up, we had Chad Gable come out. He was cutting a promo about his matches against Baron Corbin and how that he feels like he's getting better and better. He's interrupted by Mike Kanellis. He cuts a short joke, and it's a very short match again. I'm glad that we're getting more and more Chad Gable on TV because, again, like I keep saying, he's an absolute talent. He pretty much makes Kanellis tap out, and we see, you know, that's it. It was a quick match, but it's building momentum for Chad Gable, which he needs. Then we had Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Carmella and Charlotte Flair. This one again made sense on paper. For me, it made sense because Bayley needs to have. I think Bayley's going to lose the title at Hell in a Cell. I think she is going to lose it. I think they're going to give it to Charlotte just before the Fox deal, so she will be on Fox as well. But yeah, this was one of those matches where it wasn't absolutely great. I'm glad that they did. I'm glad they added Carmella into this match and not have Becky Lynch. But yeah, but pretty much Sasha Banks and Bayley are a good tag team and they work well. Charlotte and Carmella worked really well at the start as well. But yeah, Carmella is the one to lose. She's the one who taps out again to Sasha Banks, and then obviously all the women turn up again to chase for the 24/7 title. Yeah, like I said, this makes sense on paper. It was a good match. It was just, for me, I just want to see. I'm just concerned that keeping Sasha Banks and Bayley too close. It's going to be interesting to see what this draft does with those two. But yeah, Bayley doesn't really seem to be at the same level as Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky right now. She feels like she's there, but there's something missing there. And I think it's because she's not acting too much like a heel. She's doing heel things, but she isn't doing the heelish. She isn't becoming a heel, if that makes sense. Like, her character hasn't changed. Her tactics have changed, but her character hasn't, if that makes sense. She's still that Bayley hugging character. Then we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ali. I actually messaged a few of my friends and said this was a good match. Good TV match, to say the least. Shinsuke and Ali have great chemistry. Again, I do not understand how Ali hasn't got a title match yet against Shinsuke Nakamura. He has defeated him in the past, but no title match. I think they kind of hinted at it, that it might happen at Hell in a Cell on the WWE Twitter page, because they were asking fans, do you think Ali deserves a title shot? I definitely do. Sami Zayn was around the ring post. He's the reason Ali lost, because he distracted Ali. Shinsuke Nakamura, he got involved in the match. Ali chased him, King Slasher to the face. Ali's out, and yeah, it's a bit of disappointment. But, you know, I think Ali should have overcome him. That gives him a title shot for Hell in a Cell, and I think it should have gone that way. Then we had the New Day versus the B Team. Again, I didn't really need to see this. This was pretty much, yeah, the B Team came out strong, which was good. Bo Dallas and Curtis are a good team. They're not at the same level as the New Day. And it was pretty much like, yeah, this is going to be a match where, and then they started doing a celebration run around the ring. Big E follows them, he takes them out, and then New Day win. It's just like, what are you guys doing? Then we had Asuka versus Kairi Singh, because I'm not calling them by that frigging tag team name, because that is a crap name, versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. It was a good match. Again, Asuka and Kairi haven't been on TV for a while, and Fire and Desire being one of probably the best push teams in the women's tag team division. So this was a good victory for Asuka and Kairi. And I'm one of those people who are kind of hoping they kind of split them, Kairi and Asuka, when it comes to the draft. Send Asuka to Raw or keep her on SmackDown, it's up to you. But I would rather have Kairi Sane on, kind of separate. Just have them separate, let them perform, because Kairi should be challenging for titles, and so should Asuka. They're better at, for me personally, they're better at being singles competitors than they are a tag team, and that's why they haven't really been seen. But yes, they won. It was a big victory for them, really, because Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville have been pushed as the best. At the end, though, it was kind of interesting. Mandy was the one who got pinned by an insane elbow by Kairi Sane. And Sonya Deville looked really annoyed with her partner, like, God's sake, you cost us this match now. And it would be interesting if those two split, but maybe we could have a Sonya Deville turn heel. Maybe that would be interesting. Then last but not least for the night, we had a huge announcement for SmackDown. On the premiere episode of SmackDown on Fox, we will have a ladders match where we see Kevin Owens versus Shane O'Mac. This will be pretty much both guys were in the ring. KO pretty much announces he doesn't really want to do it. Well, Shane offers him two things. Either they go to court and he keeps him in court for years and years and years, and Kevin Owens will have to pay millions into court fees, or KO drops this, he gets rehired, and they drop the fine. KO makes a different type of offer, and Shane O'Mac accepts it. Pretty much, get his lawyers, it's career versus career pretty much. If KO wins, I think he gets rehired and Shane O'Mac gets fired. And Shane O'Mac, if he wins, KO will drop the lawsuit and he will just walk away for good. Shane O'Mac, yeah, so Shane O'Mac, if he wins, KO will walk away. I thought this was a really good stipulation. If the rumours are true and Fox are kind of wanting Shane to not be on TV, this is the best way of doing it. I really think this is a great way. I think it's about time we got Shane O'Mac off TV. It was good when he returned like 3 years ago. Shane O'Mac was awesome, but it's slowly become what the Authority was, and it's just been so bad since. But yeah, that was the end of SmackDown. I think that was a good stipulation. I think SmackDown started off really strong, and then just in the middle kind of got lost, and then at the end kind of did what it needed to do. And there you go, guys. That was Raw versus SmackDown, and which show won for the week. Now, I think SmackDown and Raw were decent shows, but I think Raw was the strongest one for the week. I think we had a great Fatal 5-way. I think we had The Fiend, Bray Wyatt's Firefly segments throughout the show, and then The Fiend turning up at the end was just absolutely brilliant. I think Ali versus Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown was really good, and I think Erick Rowan and Daniel Bryan, just the opening was stronger than Raw's. So what am I going to score it? Well, for Raw, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 stars. For SmackDown, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. So this week, and the final winner of Raw versus SmackDown is Raw. Yeah, that was quite good. But if you do like these videos and you like what you hear and like what you see, guys, please like, subscribe, and press that bell to keep notified. If you want to follow me on the old Twitter and you want to support the channel, please do. You can follow us at Smack Talk YouTube. That's a U and a 2. And if you want to follow me on the old Twitter, it's at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.